Oh, I hate to say it, but it's September 11th, 2023. It just still leaves a pit in my stomach when I think about this date and what it means. And the more I learn about it, it's just like, the only thing you have to say is Building 7. You don't even have to focus on the Twin Towers falling. Building 7 free falled, fell without being touched, and that is a bridge too far. And I wasn't even going to talk about this because I know that I just feel the need to just let this out because my speaker on my phone is, you can barely hear me or whatever, but it's just like that just doesn't happen. That is impossible for a building to free fall collapse by itself, wasn't even hit, and Quinky, it's a Quinky Dink that there was an actual reporter from the BBC. I've seen it, um, calling for the falling of Building 7 20 minutes before it happened, and that doesn't even matter. You can make all the excuses in the world. It still fell without being hit by anything. So it just makes me super sad, and the thought that it was even having an inkling that it's a false flag is just it's depressing. I don't want to think that about somebody knew about that and they let it happen just to open up the Patriot Act and open up the war on terrorism, and look at since then what has happened to our liberties. And all of a sudden there's this thing called hate speech where it used to be sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And we're getting to all this crazy censorship, which I thought we had already figured out a long time ago, that censorship is a bad thing. You know, disinfecting sunlight is the best thing for liberty and justice, all that stuff. And we find out like our government is even censoring free speech. Like the best among us, the best doctors, the best biologists, were all saying, you know, whether or not they have questions on the vaccine, they have questions on anything, and it was 100% true. They were using CDC data, just, and we find out that the government has just censored them, taken down their posts, taken down their reach, taken down everything, and everything that they said was true. And people are still voting for Democrats. I used to vote for mainly Democrats, but back then it used to be about, at least I thought it was like small government versus big government, and all these things. And I just find out right now it's communism versus freedom. Like you cannot look at the books they're putting in middle schools, and it's straight up pornography for seventh graders. Like gender queer literally not only gives you instructions on how to do it, and I don't care that it's gay, heterosexual, like this shit should not be being taught in our schools, but they literally have pictures of, one kid sucking another kid off. And then when parents complain, you're a, you're for banning books. It's like that's the sort of nonsense that is passing the bar. People believe it. And it's just like, and then you show them the book, and they're like, "No, that's not happening." And it's like, yeah, yeah, it is. It's not only genderqueer. There are many books, not to mention, you know, a 13-year-old can't get a tan, can't drink, can't basically do anything because a 13-year-old can't make those kind of decisions. And especially like when you talk about gender and you talk about sex, you cannot make a decision like that before you even go through puberty. And then you look at the literature that people are spouting out and trying to kick some common sense into people and say, guess what? Like 90% of people with body dysmorphia, according to the literature, figure it out after puberty. 80% is gay, 10% is hetero. I'm assuming the 1 out of 10 person, like they genuinely are confused. Why not let these people go through fucking puberty so at least they can understand what they're feeling, what they're going through, instead of sterilizing them, taking puberty blockers, like they call it gender affirming care. It's mutilation. People are voting for that. Like, how can you vote for today's Democrat? The mandates, the my body, my choice, until it comes to an experimental injection that is neither safe nor effective. If you listen to actual doctors, actual biologists, they're telling you, they're saying, look at the excess deaths, look at theirs, look at just the websites coming out on all these people saying that they were hurt, and you still have complete idiots saying, no, that's just normal. You know, no, it's not normal to have your excess deaths be up by 30%. That's wartime levels. It's not normal. And you look at all the vaccinated countries, and they're still way up at 10%. And all of the countries that didn't get vaccinated, their excess deaths are below average or normal because COVID did see a little spike. The average age of death of COVID was like 83, and the average age of death is 78. People were lied to. Early treatment, the just across the board lied to, and they're still gonna vote for the day. You don't have to vote for a Republican. They're corrupt beyond measure when it comes to war, when it comes to a lot of things. But at least they still believe in the United States of America. They still believe in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. At least they say it, you know, and their policies have backed that. That's what you look at. You look at the policies, whether it be Democrat, whether it be Republican. You don't listen to their words. They're liars. They're liars. But some are, like Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr. Those are two Democrats that I think it takes a lot to fool me. I'm very, very skeptical. Those two are the real deal. Um, I think there's a couple Republicans like that. Um, I don't agree with him a lot, but Rand Paul, like you can tell the people who really, because they put forth the policy that backs their words. Unlike Gavin Newsom or Nancy Pelosi or any of these traitors, really, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, like they say one thing and then they go and do the exact opposite. And people, for some reason, every 4 years, people get hyped up and they believe, we're going to do this and we're going to do this. It's like Joe Biden literally said that he's going to shut down the fossil fuel industry. and he's done everything to shut it down. He's put executive orders, he's shut down drilling, he's done all of this, and then the gas prices go from $2 to $5 to $3.80 where it is now. And we have people, on MSNBC and CNN telling us how cheap gas is now. It went up $1.80. What are you talking about? And it's like, well, presidents, don't really have any say on gas. Yeah, that used to be the case until until we got a president who literally said, "I'm shutting down the fossil fuel industry," and has backed it up. Like, what do you think is going to happen? It's if you want to talk about throwing out the baby with the bathwater, cutting off your nose to spite your face. It's like, yeah, we're gonna we're gonna fix this problem by switching to all electric, even though we don't have the grid for it. We can't support it in any way. California issues like hey, don't charge your cars because it's hot out and we need the electricity. And not to mention, like, if you reached the goals of a Gavin Newsom or a California or whatever it is, these complete morons and idiots, you would have to strip mine the entire earth. You would have to get over the slave labor that's happening right now. How do you think most of these cars get from China or from overseas? They're put on barges that use tremendous amounts of fossil fuels. It's a nonsense thing. The people who are flying private jets, who are living, right on the ocean, they're telling you that, hey man, you're the problem, carbon, carbon, carbon. And it's like, until those people stop doing that, why would you listen to them? Why would you listen to them anyway? You've got over 1,000 scientists easily telling you, hey man, temperature fluctuates. Sorry, some regions of the earth are colder, some are warmer, and by the way, warmer temperature, that's good. Over the next 100 years, I think it's 100.3, or it's 1.3 degrees warmer. That's good, because cold is the shit that kills people. It's not being, going from 97 to 98. And finally, they're like saying, "Look at all these fires. Look at all of them. Global warming, bitch." And it's like, they don't take care of the underbrush anymore. They don't take care of the forest anymore to prevent those fires. So they're willing to kill people. They're willing to burn their houses down rather than be responsible and take care of the forest and do the things that you need to do to prevent these fires. Wake up.